Today on the channel, we take a trip on a new ship with the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Batman.
The spirit of the warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for a Dark Knight Returns unboxing and review. But today, we're taking a look at the Mafex version of the Dark Knight himself, Batman. But remember, for all your Mafex, Batman, toys, collectibles, you name it needs, hit up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Now, here's where the story time begins, as this is my first go around with a Mafex figure. And I talk about it here on the channel all the time, that I get enjoyment out of all kinds of figures. I know there's a lot of people that say, I'm only in for the imports, that's all I care about. All I care about is hot toys, all I care about is, Hasbro figures, whatever it may be. I like everything, I just don't collect everything. And a lot of the more expensive stuff does turn me off a little bit, because guess what, it is more expensive. But I know a lot of people say, well, the quality's better, things like that. I get that, but as I always also say on the channel, you like what you like, you don't what you don't. But I got no problems with things like this. But if I'm going to buy it, I want to get a deal. Gotta get a deal out there. You guys know how it is. And that's exactly what I got on this Mafex version. It was like $60, I want to say, on Amazon. And I said, you know what? I had some gift cards in there, so I basically got this for free. I said, you know what? I'm going to grab this guy. Why wouldn't I? I'm going to check it out. This is more of an iconic Batman to me, as this is, I believe there's two versions of this. There's a traditional black and gray suited Batman, and then you got the blue one, which I've always liked the blue one, going back to the Justice League days as a little kid watching that cartoon. And I like something about old beat up Batman getting back in the fight with the Dark Knight Returns. And of course we did unbox the whole McFarlane wave on the channel a while back. But I said, you know what? I've never tried a Mafex. I like the looks of this figure. I'm not going to say it's a slippery slope road I'm going down. I'll pick up some of these if there's something that really interests me. Just like the Mezco Wolverine that we picked up a while back from Entertainment Earth as well. So it's going to be an interesting one. This is the inaugural trip on the ship, as I did say. So we'll see how we feel about these Mafex figures. But we're going to do this like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So let's see what happens when the Dark Knight returns. Big plastic window box in the front. Dark Knight Returns there. Looks like we got some extra heads, extra hands, all the usual stuff we get with a lot of figures. Very, very cool looking. Feels very Storm Collectibles like with the wrestling figures. Packaging style, looks-wise of the style of the figure. Looks a little similar to some of the Storm figures, but it is Mafex. Dark Knight Returns on the side. I guess I should turn it like that probably. Got a very cool one right there with the cape. Of course, it is cape season after all. And Batman, one of the favorites in cape season, wearing that cape year-round. And a little bit of action on the back as well. So there's all of that. Let's bust him out. Is there anything here? There's no story time, nothing blurb. No blurb here. What are we doing? Could use a blurb. All in for a blurb. You guys know that. Pull old Dark Knight himself out of here. Very cool packaging art in the back there. That looks really, really cool. Of course, it's older Batman. He's a little bit slower, but he's a little smarter. He's a little tougher. That's the way it goes when you get older, I think. And what do we got here? We got the old plastic prison, big plastic prison. Got the double plastic prison here. And it looks like on the back, we got a stand. Yes, we do. We're going to have our final stand right here at the table. But we do get a nice stand here for Batman we can put together. We'll have that for the glamour shots. Always appreciate a good stand, be it one of a dynamic stand like this or a regular black stand like McFarlane gives us. I'm just all in on getting stands with my figures, as you guys know here on the channel. Now I'm going to pull this out of the package. This will just dump everything this way. And there we go. Plastic prison. We're off. See you later. Skyhook style. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 80s. Had to be there. Had to be there. But that's what we did, a little skyhook. He's got the plastic diaper on. That's always interesting. So we'll deal with that here, I guess, in a second. But very interesting accessories. The way they go to market here is they got little plastic connectors holding the extra hands. So we got splayed out hands. We got normal one, and then we got one with busted up gloves. He's punched somebody in the face, torn his gloves here. Same thing on the fist. We got one fisted hand that is tore up, one that is regular. And then once again, we get the open hands, and we get one that's torn up, one that is not. So I guess you really could choose your own hand adventure here. And then we got gripping hands, same way. One is torn, one is not. So we got a little of that, and it seems to be the right hand is the torn hand across the board. Same thing on here. You got two fists of fury. Of course, Batman, he's never one to shy away from throwing a punch if he needs to. And we got that in the hands there. Same thing. We do got the cowl, of course, if you want to put the cowl down and use the second head for Batman. Very cool. Of course, that'll pop the head off, put that over. Bam, you're off to the races right there. So I do like that. Nice blue color. I love the blue color to this. Like I said, this is my classic Batman. When I think of Batman, I think of the blue and gray. I know I'm probably in the minority at this point. A lot of people think all black suit. I get that as well. But it's kind of where you came into Batman. And I came into Batman in the Justice League, all that kind of stuff in the 80s, the cartoons, and the toy, of course, the Kenner Superpowers toys. Now let's look at the heads on these Batman first. So we get the old man Batman. He's got a big old black eye. He's got the wrinkles in his forehead. Very debonair gray hair, white hair, looking really good. Definitely looks good. But that big black eye sure is noticeable. You got the eyebrows up. Strong chin line, of course. He's got the weathered. He's got a little bit of a grimy look to him. This is a Batman that's seen some battles is what this is. A Bruce Wayne that's seen some battles. But we do have that. And then we get down to old Batman himself. And I'm going to pull this diaper off him. I think it just slides on out, but it's one of those things. You got to protect the figure, I guess. And boy, it's deep in there. It was deep in his crotch. See you later. Getting deep into Batman's crotch here today, it looks like. And then we got one around the ab crunch as well. So he's got a lot of wrappings here. Is that to prevent staining? Is that prevent rubbing? I'm not exactly sure, as this is my first go around with Mafex, like I did say. But boy, this Batman feels interesting. It definitely feels like an import figure. Like I was talking about, I thought it looked like a Storm Collectibles figure. It does give me that same vibe. It's kind of got that plastic squish feeling, that kind of noise it makes when you turn the joints. Same as a Storm Collectible. But definitely feels good in hand, feels sturdy. It feels bigger. It's a bigger, older Batman is what we have here. He's got some torn up, the bat symbol torn up on the chest, beat up. He's still got a nice nice abs to him a little bit. He's got some muscle definition there. But then, of course, you do get down to the bat belt in yellow. Really breaks up the color between the gray and the blue. The yellow bat belt looks good. Got tears in his jeans, slices and dices. He's been through the wars, of course. And then, like I said, the blue and the gray really, really is good. It's a dirty wash to the gray. The blue is still very vibrant. Looks really nice on the boots, the gloves, of course, the cape, and the head. You got the dirty wash on the face. He's got the big old teeth showing, the gritty teeth. Got the dark wash around the chin, really chiseled out there through the mask. Black around the eyes, white in the eyes as well. And then you got the, of course, bat ears at the top looking good. Got some nice darkness to it. I mean, this is definitely a Batman that looks like he's ready to throw down. All hope is lost. It doesn't matter. He's going for it. He's going for the gold here. There is no peg hole on the bottom, so you're not going to be able to put him on a ringside stand. Going to have to use the dynamic stand, it looks like here. But let's walk through some of this articulation. Very interesting. Arms go all the way around. You do got butterfly shoulders. A little bit loose in the joints, but tight at the same time. It's not bad. It's good. It feels good. I'll say that. Do get a bicep cut. Double jointed, pinless elbows. Playing all the hits right there. Hands back and forth, side to side. Of course, hands removable. We went through the hands. You do got the, gosh, what are those? I don't know what you call these things on Batman's forearms. I guess the spikes. I don't know what they're technically called. We've definitely seen them over the years a little bit more pronounced. These are a little bit more subdued, but they're still there. They still do look really good. Of course, head's removable, side to side, back and forth. Looks like you got neck articulation and head articulation with this. So plenty of posability out of that head. You do get the waist crunch at the top, the old hula hoop. And then do we get the traditional waist? Yes, we do. We get a little bit of floating on that belt, like I said. You do get the big old Batman splits if need be. No thigh cut on him, but we do have drop-down hips as well. Very G.I. Joe-esque on him as well. Double jointed knees, yes we do. Very nice, no pins in the knees, looks really, really good. No boot cut, but you do get the ankles back and forth, side to side. You do get those balls in there, very McFarlane-esque. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of that. They are a little bit of an eyesore here as well, I gotta be honest. And then you do get the boot, the ankle toe articulation, easy for me to get there. But you do get the toe articulation on this one, which everybody loves the little toe articulation, as we do know. The cape, very, very nice. It looks like the cape does not come off. So if you pull this head off, which I'm going to do, head comes off very, very easily there. The cape does not seemingly come off. No, it does not. So the cape does not come off. I'm going to pop this head on just for the heck of it. Maybe, hopefully. Hopefully it'll pop on. There we go. Pops on very good. Definitely looks nice, but a big, big cape here. Of course, you got a lot of wrinkles in it. It's a very tight, wrinkled cape together. Very nice cloth feel to this. Very, very good feeling cape. It is cape season after all, as we always do say. but it does look good. This definitely looks like a Batman that's been through the wars, though. That's what it is, and that's what it's supposed to represent at the end of the day. So I think it does get the job done. It definitely, like I said, feels like an import figure. It feels like a Storm figure is what it really reminds me of the most. But definitely not bad. And this is, like I said, my first time around the sun with a Mafex figure. I know there's a lot of different X-Men and Mafex figures that people say, grab the Spider-Man. I hear all that kind of stuff all the time, and who knows, maybe I will. It's just not always at the top of my to-do list. You know, I got wrestling and G.I. Joe at the top of the list, then some of the other properties, but I'll dabble from time to time. Every once in a while, there might be a hot deal, there might be something going on. I'll grab one of these ones, but they got to resonate with me, too, at the end of the day. I'm not going to buy just, from the movie The Crow, which I've never even seen, I'm not going to buy a Mezco Crow just for the heck of it, and unless I'm going to move him into my wrestling federation and call him Sting. I don't know, but never seen The Crow. So that's something like that I'm not going to be picking up just to pick up for sure. But this Batman, a very cool representation of one I've really enjoyed over the years. It was on a sale, had some gift cards. Felt like the right time to pull the trigger, and we'll see what happens in the future with something like that. Of course, you got Dark Knight Returns McFarlane, a little height comparison there. It is an import. Imports in my history, Storm, some of these other ones, they do somewhat, the scaling usually isn't with the North American scale, if that's what you want to call McFarlane, I guess. But you can kind of see the differences between these two. McFarlane running a little bit bigger than the Mafex. I did grab Mezco, speaking of, you know, high-end collectibles here, the Mezco Wolverine. You can kind of see that comparison a little bit here, too. I don't know if usually Mezco and Mafex kind of run in the same scale, same universe, somewhat. But of course, Wolverine, a much smaller character, as we all do know. But definitely a good Wolverine. I really did like this one. This was on my top 20 miscellaneous figures of the year, if you guys remember back. I'm not sure if this guy's going to make the list or not. I'm not super over the moon, but it is a good figure. Feels really good. I like the accessories, like the stand, and I like the representation of this era of Batman. So it's okay in my book. But what about your guys' book? Is it still being written? Let me know in the comments down below. You picking up some of these Mafex figures? How about the Dark Knight? And how do you like your Dark Knight? All in black, a little classic like this? You like the blue and gray like I do? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. You made it this far. It helps the channel. Subscribe to this very channel. As you guys know, we got videos every single day. And then some, and even more content over on the Patreon. We got Q&As, we got giveaways, we got early access to videos, a whole lot more. And of course, you do support the channel as a member of the Patreon. You can also support the channel over at PressingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson, pick up a t-shirt, and then don't forget about social media. SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Mafex, all of it. For Bruce Wayne, all of him. And Batman, I am Kyle. I'll see you guys all real soon.